All right. I've been puzzling over how to make a battery pocket on this thing. I marked out a tentative spot for one, but how to fit it in there and all that. And then I happened to stumble across something online that is going to make my life a lot simpler. I bought one of these, a battery compartment. It came with the mounting screws. The mounting screws are down inside, so they won't show out of here. And it has precise measurements for how to make the hole, how big, and how deep. I went ahead and printed those out. So, it says, requires routing. 2 7/8 or 73 millimeters long by 34 millimeters wide by 21 millimeters deep. So, I'll need to measure that onto this rectangle that I already have here. But, before I do that, I'm going to have to get a little funky in the way I do this. Ideally, I should do this with my router. There's just one problem with that. I don't have a router. So, I have a drill press and a few other things that I'm going to see if this works. But I'm not going to test it all on this. I made myself a couple of practice blocks. So these are roughly the same consistency of wood as far as I can tell, and are big enough that I'll be able to do some carving on them. So let's go ahead with this first one. I got my handy dandy caliper here. Switch it on. It is set to millimeters, so we'll go with that. So I need 73, 72.4, 73. I said. My biggest gripe, this thing doesn't have a lock on it. But other than that, I really like it. All right. I drilled this hole just to test the softness of the wood, so I may as well put it inside this thing. So let's go ahead and mark 73 on both sides. Now, since I'm here, I may as well use this straight edge to make the top. And then our width is going to be 34. So we'll drop down to 34, and how close am I? Oh, pretty close. So we're going to go right there. All right. Give me a straight edge. Actually, give me 34 again. And let's mark it on this end. And now we'll connect the lines. All right. There is the size I need for this pocket. Because it's got the rounded edge here. And that is the main reason I'm going to use the drill, is to make those rounded corners. So, but I can't drill too deep. I can only go down 21 millimeters. So, I'm going to have to set the stop on my drill press so it doesn't go any deeper than that. Let's go do that now. Well, here it is. I have my plate set just at the height of the wood so that the tip of the drill bit is just touching the wood when this scale pointer is at 0. You may or may not be able to see it, but there is a little measurement here. My depth needs to be 13/16. So that's going to be, there's a half, there's 3/4, which is 12/16. So one more makes 13. So 13/16 is going to be right there. So I'm going to go ahead set my stop there. I'm actually going to set it just a whisker above it, because it's always easier to take more off than to just try to put some back on. All right. I think we are about ready to start drilling. So, get our block up here. I'll get my goggles on, and here we go. Let's do each of the corners. All right, now it's just a matter of going along and following the line. So here we go. What I would really like to do, and I'm going to look into it, is find a router bit that's designed to do this and just put it in this thing. I can increase the speed of this drill quite a bit. It has its well, here, I'll show you. It's belt driven. And it's actually got like 12 speeds, depending on which pulleys I put the belt onto. If I take that one and put it clear at the top, and take this one and put it clear at the top, this thing really cooks. So it could potentially work fast, turn fast enough to make a router blade work. That's something I want to look into. For now, I'm just doing a rough job with this to test and see if this idea is even going to work. You have to admit one thing, this makes a much better noise than the sander does. All right, we're 3/4 of the way there. Hey, look at that. Now it's a matter of carving out the middle, and we'll see how that goes. Hello again. It is cold, rainy, windy, and icky here in the Pacific Northwest. So I'm in my open face carport. I've got a great big tarp over it. If you hear some flapping noise, it is the wind making that thing move. I'm doing the best I can. I bought myself a router blade. It's supposed to be the kind that makes a square channel like that. So that should be what I need to finish this. Let's find out. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Sharpie and I'm going to mark on this drill bit where it was in the chuck. Because my hope is that I can set this thing at exactly the same length, and then I won't have to move this thing. So, step one, how do we get into this thing? You always love these sealed plastic things. So, a little stab there. Come on. Yesterday was Halloween, so pretend I'm doing a slasher movie. Yeah, my big slasher weapon. Now, Houston, the mark is right there. It's not even long enough to reach it. So, that means I will have to move my bottom plate here. Well, let's put the bit in and go from there. The other problem I have is this drill press doesn't have a lock on it. I don't have a way to make it stay down there. All right. Or, since I already have my groove here, I could do the smart thing. And not worry about taking the drill down. Just, come on you, up boy, up big fella, up and away, come on. Go like that, so the bit is down in the channel. All right. Now the question is, will this thing run fast enough to make this bit work? Well, it's doing it, but it's doing it with great difficulty. Let's see if we can up the speed.